Bhagavate Vasudevaya. Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya. Text 16. Evam pratyavarmasya sav atmanam pratipadyate sahankarasya dravasya yovastanam anugraha.
Hare Krishna. When by mature understanding one can realize his individuality, then the situation he accepts under false ego becomes manifest to him.
Text 17. Devahutirvacha purusham prakritir brahman nabimunchati karhichit anyonya vashrayata vacha nityatvad anayo prabhu.
Sri Devahuti inquired, My dear Brahman, does material nature ever give release to the spirit soul? Since one is attracted to the other eternally, how is there separation possible?
Text 18. Yata gandhasya bhumescha na bhavo vyatirekatah apam rashasya cha yatha tatha budhe parasya cha.
As there is no separate existence of the earth and its aroma or of the water and its taste, there cannot be any separate existence of intelligence and consciousness.
Text 19. Akartu karma bandhoyam purushasya yadashryaha guneshu satchu prakrite kevalyam te shatha katham.
Hence, even though he is the passive performer of all activities, how can there be freedom for the soul as long as material nature acts on him and binds him?
Text 20. Kvachit tatvavamarsena nivitam bhayamulbanam anvrita nimita tatvat puna pratyavitistathe.
Even if the great fear of bondage is avoided by material speculation and inquiry into the fundamental principle, it may still appear again, since its causes has not been chased.
Text 21. Shri Bhagavanu Vacha Animita Nimittena Swadharmena Malatmana Tivraya Mai Bhaktya Cha Shruta Sampratyachiram.
The Supreme Personality of Godhead said, one can get liberation by seriously discharging devotional service unto me and thereby hearing for a long time about me or from me. By thus executing one's prescribed duties, there will be no reaction and one will be freed from the contamination of matter.
Text 22. Jnanena dvistatatvena vairagyena baliyasa tapuyuktena yogena trivinetma samadhina.
This devotional service has to be performed strongly in perfect knowledge and with transcendental vision. One must be strongly renounced and must engage in austerity and perform mystic yoga in order to be firmly fixed by self-absorption.
Text 23. Prakriti purushasyeha dhayamanatvaharnisham tirubhavitri shanakir agnir avaranihi.
The influence of matter nature has covered the living entity, and thus it is as if the living entity were always in a blazing fire. By the process of seriously discharging devotional service, this influence can be removed, just as a wooden stick which causes a fire are themselves consumed by it.
Text 24. Bhukta bhoga parityakta drishta dosa cha nityasaha nishverasya shubham date svamahmini stitasya cha.
By discovering the faultiness of his desiring to lord it over material nature, and by therefore giving it up, the living entity becomes independent and stands in his own glory.
Text 25. Yata hi apratibhudasya prashvapo bhavanathavrat sa eva pratibhudasya nave mohaya kalpate.
In the dreaming state, one's consciousness is almost covered, and one sees many inauspicious things, but when he is awakened and fully conscious, such inauspicious things cannot bewilder him.
Text 26. Evam vidita tatpasya prakritirmayi manasam yunjato napakuruta atmaramasya karhichit. The
influence of material nature cannot harm an enlightened soul, even though he engages in the material activities, because he knows the truth of the Absolute, and his mind is fixed on the Supreme Personality of Godhead.
Text 27. Yadevam atyatmaratha kalena bahujanmana sarvatra jata vairagya abhrama bhuvanam munihi. When
a person thus engages in the devotional service and self-realization for many, many years and births, he becomes completely reluctant to enjoy any one of the material planets, even up to the highest planet, which is known as the Brahmaloka. He becomes fully developed in the consciousness.
Text 28 to 29.
27, Mataji?
Sorry, that was the one in front of me right now. Sorry.
No, thank you so much. Thank you, Gita Mataji and Indra Mataji, for the very nice recitation.
Oh, okay. Sorry, I thought we were reciting to 30, but yes, absolutely. We can stop there. Thank you so much.
Oh, no, okay. So, no, it's still 30. Sorry.
Yeah, it's 16 to 30, and we have 28 to 29 right now.
We just done 27.
Yeah, you can do 28 to 29, Gita Mataji, as well, till 30. Thank you.
Okay, great. Thank you. Text 28 to 29. Mat bhakta pratibudharto mat prasadena bhuyasa nishreyasham svasmastanam kevalyakyam madashrayam. Prapnoti jan sadhadira svadarša chinma samsaya yadgatva na nivarteta yogi lingad vinirgame.
My devotee actually becomes self-realized by my unlimited causeless mercy, and thus, when he is freed from all doubts, he steadily progresses towards his destined abode, which is directly under the protection of my spiritual energy of unadulterated bliss. This is the ultimate perfectional goal of the living entity. After giving up the present material body, the mystic devotee goes to that transcendental abode and never comes back.
That's 30. Yadana yogo bachita suchetu maya susidhayasya visajatenga anyana hetu svatame gati syahat atyantiki yatra namrityuha saha.
When a perfect yogi's attention is no longer attracted to the byproducts of the mystic powers, which are manifestation of the external energy, his progress towards me becomes unlimited, and thus the power of the death cannot overcome him. Hare Krishna. Thank you for giving me the opportunity.
Hare Krishna. Thank you so much, Gita Mataji and Indra Mataji, for the very nice recitation. And apologies for that in between. Thank you so much. Hare Krishna.
Hare Krishna. Thank you.
Jyoti Mataji, facilitator is there?
Yes, Mataji has joined. I've just made her host as well.
Okay, thank you so much for that, Mataji.
Hare Krishna, Mataji.
Hare Krishna Mataji. Can you hear me?
Yes, Mataji.
Hare Krishna. Thank you so much for beautiful recitations of Sanskrit and English. Thank you, Kirti Dadulali Mataji and Girish Prabhu and Geeta Mataji. Hare Krishna. So today's verses for discussion are from Canto 3, Chapter 27, where Kapil Muni is explaining to Devahuti about material nature. And the verses are 16 to 19. So let me share my screen. Hare Krishna. Before starting to read, we will do some prayers. Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya. Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya. Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya. Narayanam Namaskrityam Naram Chaiva Narottamam Devim Saraswatim Vyasam Tato Jayam Mudirayet. Shrinavatam Swakatha Krishnaha Munya Shravana Kirtana Hridanta Sthoya Bhadrani Vidhunoti Suratsatam Nashtaprayeshva Bhadreshu Nityam Bhagavata Sevaya Bhagavate Uttama Shloke Bhaktir Bhavati Naishtiki. Om Ajnanatimirandhasya Jnananjanashalaakaya Chakshurunmilitam Yena Tasmai Shri Guruve Namaha. Mukam Karoti Vachalam Pangum Langhayate Girim Yadkripatam Aham Vande Shri Gurum Deenataranam. Hare Krishna 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 Hare 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 Rama 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 Hare Hare. So, understanding material nature, chapter 27, and the verses for recitation are 16 to 19. Let's go. Evam pratyavamrasya atmanam pratipadyate sahankarasya dravyasya yovasthanam anugraha. Translation. When by mature understanding one can realize his individuality, then the situation he accepts under false ego becomes manifest to him. When by mature understanding one can realize his individuality, then the situation he accepts under false ego becomes manifest to him. Very important one and very deep translation. Purport. The Mayavadi philosopher's position is that 27. Yes. The Mayavadi philosopher's position is that at the ultimate issue, the individual is lost. Everything becomes one, and there is no distinction between the knower, the knowable, and knowledge. But by minute analysis, we can see that this is not correct. Individuality is never lost. Even when one thinks that the three different principles, namely the knower, the knowable, and the knowledge, are amalgamated or merge into one. The very concept that the three merge into one is another form of knowledge. And since the perceiver of the knowledge still exists, how can one say that the knower, knowledge, and knowable have become one? The individual soul who is perceiving this knowledge still remains an individual. Both in material existence and in spiritual existence, the individuality continues. The only difference is in the quality of the identity. In the material identity, the false ego acts, and because of false identification, one takes things to be different from what they actually are. That is the basic principle of conditioned life. Similarly, when the false ego is purified, one takes everything in the right perspective. That is state of liberation. That is the state of liberation. Hare Krishna, anyone wants to read this paragraph, please?
Hare Krishna Mataji.
Thank you, Mataji.
May I read? Sorry, from what point we got now?
It is stated in from here.
Yeah. It is stated in the Isopanidas that everything belongs to the Lord. Isavyasaham idam sarvam. Everything exists on the energy of Supreme Lord. This is also confirmed in Bhagavad Gita, because everything is produced of the energy and exists on his energy. The energy is not different from him, but still the Lord declares, I am not there. When one clearly understands one's constitutional position, everything becomes manifest. False egoistic acceptance of things conditions one's, whereas acceptance of things as they are makes one liberated. The example given in the previous verse is applicable here. Due to the absorption of one's identity in his money, when the money is lost, he thinks that he is also lost. But actually, he is not identical with the money, nor does the money belong to him. When the actual situation is revealed, we understand that the money does not belong to any individual person or living entity, nor is it produced by man. Ultimately, the money is the property of the Supreme Lord, and there is no question of its being lost. But as long as one falsely thinks, I am the enjoyer, or I am the Lord, this concept of life continues, and one remains conditioned. As soon as this false ego is eliminated, one is liberated. As confirmed in the Bhagavatam, situation in one's real constitutional position is called mukti, or liberation. Hare Krishna Mataji.
Thank you, Mataji. Srimad Bhagavatam 3.27.17. Devahutir uvacha purusham prakritir brahman na vimuchati karhichit anyonyapashraya tavacha nityatvad anyo prabho. Translation. Sri Devahuti inquired, My dear Brahmana, does material energy ever give release to the spirit soul? Since one is attracted to the other eternally, how is their separation possible? Purport. Devahuti, the mother of Kapiladev, here makes her first inquiry. Although one may understand that spirit, soul, and matter are different, their actual separation is not possible, either by philosophical speculation or by proper understanding. The spirit soul is the marginal potency of the Supreme Lord, and matter is the external potency of the Lord. The two eternal potencies have somehow or other been combined. And since it is so difficult to separate one from other, how is it possible for the individual soul to become liberated? By practical experience, one can see that the soul is separated from the body. The body has no real existence, and when the body is separated from the soul, one cannot perceive the existence of the soul. As long as soul and the body are combined, one can understand that there is life. But when they are separated, there is no manifested existence of the body or the soul. This question asked by Devahuti of Kapil Dev is more or less impelled by the philosophy of voidism. The voidists say that consciousness is a product of a combination of matter, and that as soon as consciousness is gone, the material combination dissolves. And therefore, there is ultimately nothing but voidness. This absence of consciousness is called nirvana in Mayavad philosophy. Srimad Bhagavatam 3.27.18 Yatha gandhasya bhumeshcha na bhavo vyatirekatah apam rasasya cha yatha tatha buddhe parasya cha. Translation and purport. As there is no separate existence of the earth and its aroma or of water and its taste, there cannot be any separate existence of intelligence and consciousness. The example is given here that anything material has an aroma. The flower, the earth, everything has an aroma. If the aroma is separated from the matter cannot be identified. If there is no taste of water, the water has no meaning. If there is no heat in the fire has no meaning. Similarly, when there is want of intelligence, the spirit has no meaning. Srimad Bhagavatam 3.27.19 Akartu karma bandhoyam purushasya yad ashrayah guneshu satsu prakrutehe kaivalyam teshvata katham. Translation and purport by His Divine Grace A.C. Bhaktivedanta Swami Srila Prabhupada Ki Jai. Hence, even though he is the passive performer of all activities, how can there be freedom for the soul as long as material nature acts on him and binds him? Purport. Would anyone like to read?
Can I read, Mataji, please?
Yes, Mataji, thank you.
Thank you. Although the living entity desires freedom from the contamination of matter, he is not given release. Actually, as soon as a living entity puts himself under the control of the modes of material nature, his acts are influenced by the qualities of material nature, and he becomes passive. It is confirmed in Bhagavad Gita, Prakrite Kriya Manani Guna. The living entity acts according to the qualities or modes of material nature. He falsely thinks that he is acting, but unfortunately he is passive. In other words, he has no opportunity to get out of the control of material nature because it has already conditioned him. In Bhagavad Gita, it is also stated that it is very difficult to get out of the clutches of material nature. One may try in different ways to think that everything is void in the ultimate issue, that there is no God, and that even if the background of everything is spirit, it is impersonal. This speculation may go on, but actually it is very difficult to get out of the clutches of material nature. Devahuti poses the question that although one may speculate in many ways, where is liberation as long as one is under the spell of material nature? The answer is also found in Bhagavad Gita 7.14. Only one who has surrendered himself onto the lotus feet of the Supreme Lord Krishna, Mam Eva Ye Prapadante, can be freed from the clutches of Maya. Can I continue, Mataji?
Is there anyone else who wants to read? If not,
can I read Mataji?
Shipra Mataji, and I saw another Mataji. I don't know if there is more paragraph left.
It's okay. Let Shipra Mataji do it. It's okay.
Okay, thank you, Mataji. Sorry about that.
Thank you, Mataji. Since Devahuti is gradually coming to the point of surrender, her questions are very intelligent. How can one be liberated? How can one be in a pure state of spiritual existence as long as he is strongly held by the modes of material nature. This is also an indication to the false mediator. There are many so-called mediators who think I am the supreme spirit soul. I am conducting the activities of material nature. Under my direction, the sun is moving and the moon is rising. They think that by such contemplation or meditation, they can become free. But it is seen that just 3 minutes after finishing such nonsensical meditation, they are immediately captured by the modes of material nature. Immediately after his high sounding meditation, a meditator becomes thirsty and wants to smoke or drink. He is under the strong grip of material nature, yet he thinks that he is already free from the clutches of Maya. This question of Devahutis is for such a person who falsely claims that he is everything, that ultimately everything is void, and that there are no sinful or pious activities. These are all atheistic inventions. Actually, unless a living entity surrenders unto the Supreme Personality of Godhead, as instructed in Bhagavad Gita, there is no liberation or freedom from the clutches of Maya. Hare Krishna.
Hare Krishna Mataji. Thank you so much. ॐ अज्ञानतिमिरान्धस्य ज्ञानाञ्जनशलाकया चक्षुरुन्मिलितं येन तस्मै श्रीगुरुवे नमः। श्रीचैतन्यमनोभीष्टं स्थापितं येन भूतले स्वयं रूपः कदा मह्यं ददाति स्वपदान्तिकं। वन्देऽहं श्रीगुरोः श्रीयुतपदकमलं श्रीगुरून् वैष्णवांश्च श्रीरूपं साग्रजातं सहगणरघुनाथान्वितं तं सजीवं साद्वैतं सावधूतं परिजनसहितं कृष्णचैतन्यदेवं श्रीराधा कृष्णपादान् सहगणललिता श्रीविशाखान्वितांश्च। हे कृष्ण करुणा सिन्धो दीनबन्धो जगत्पते गोपेश गोपिकान्त राधाकान्त नमोऽस्तुते। तप्तकाञ्चन गौराङ्गी राधे वृन्दावनेश्वरी वृषभानुसुते देवी प्रणमामि हरिप्रिये। वाञ्छकल्पतरुभ्यश्च कृपा सिन्धुभ्य एव च पतितानां पावनेभ्यो वैष्णवेभ्यो नमो नमः। नमो ॐ विष्णुपादाय कृष्णप्रेष्ठाय भूतले श्रीमते भक्तिवेदान्त स्वामिनिति नामिने। नमस्ते सरस्वते देवे गौरवाणी प्रचारिणे निर्विशेष शून्यवादी पाश्चात्य देशे तारिणे। जय श्री कृष्ण चैतन्य प्रभु नित्यानंद श्री अद्वैत गदाधर श्रीवासादि गौर भक्तवृंद। हरे कृष्ण 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 हरे हरे, हरे राम 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 हरे हरे. So very important chapter. Actually, there is a chapter in Bhagavad Gita also. If you read that chapter and if you want to expand on that chapter of Bhagavad Gita, you can come to this chapter 27, even chapter 26 of third canto of Bhagavatam. Can anyone tell which canto or which chapter of Bhagavad Gita relates to this? How you can connect it? It's very interesting how Bhagavad Gita's verses we can actually connect to Bhagavatam. There will be full picture and full pastimes and examples, explanations about those verses of Bhagavad Gita. Can anyone relate which chapter of Bhagavad Gita?
Is it about 3 modes of material nature?
That's also, yes, Mataji, to some extent. Yes, you're right. That is there. That's 14th chapter, right?
Yes, 14th chapter, yes.
And also, it's good to know, it's good to connect. Then we can, go back and read Bhagavad Gita also, and both will be more clear. It will give more clarity. So that is actually chapter 13, nature, enjoyer, and consciousness. And then comes the 3 modes of material nature. Yes, these both actually Kapil Muni have explained in detail in Bhagavatam, because that is what Shankhya philosophy is about, material nature only, So chapter 13, there's so many verses saying the same things that Kapil Muni is explaining. Krishna is explaining here, and Kapil Muni again explains. I mean, not again. Kapil Muni have explained before, and in Krishna 5,000 years ago again to Arjuna explains this. Because it is lost after some years, always gets mixed up and lost, and then people start following what they want, and the real knowledge is lost. So yes, the nature, enjoyer, and consciousness. Here you can see the Arjuna is asking, "Oh my dear Krishna, I wish to know about Prakriti, nature, Purusha, the enjoyer, and the field, and the knower of the field, and of the knowledge and the object of knowledge." The Supreme Personality of Godhead said, "This body, O son of Kunti, is called the field. One who knows the body is called the knower of the field." And then he's saying, "O son of Bharata, you should understand that I am the knower of all bodies, and to understand this body and its knower is called knowledge. That is my opinion." So see, he is actually telling us what real knowledge is. Why these things, not minute, but why these fundamental things are being explained to us, so that we can have strong faith in the philosophy of Krishna consciousness and philosophy of that there is something beyond this scientific and material nature that we see around us. There's something beyond that, spiritual science. There is not just scientific biology, history, and all that. There is also spiritual science of science of God, which is called spiritual science, which is Krishna consciousness, is also present. And we need to, if we really need to know the it in a very atomic and fundamental level, then we have to come to these chapters, like Bhagavad Gita chapter 13, 14, and Srimad Bhagavatam that we are studying. So Krishna is saying that real knowledge is the knowledge of this body, activities related to this body, and its knower, who is the knower of body. So he's actually saying, if you know about Prakriti, nature, material nature, if you know about Purusha, the enjoyer, who is the Purusha? Krishna. And if you know about the field, this body is the field, and the knower of the field, and of the knowledge and the object of knowledge. And then he's saying that what is knowledge? Knowing about this body, to understand the body, the knower of the body, that is the real knowledge, not the knowledge that we think is knowledge. Not just knowledge about the material world, and we don't even know about material world. We only know about few things of the material world, not completely, maybe in elemental form, and we've done some researches, but actually we don't know about the real knowledge. If we don't know about the knowledge of soul, then we have no knowledge actually. This is real knowledge. And after many births, bahunam janmanamante jnanavam prapadyate vasudevam sarvamiti sa mahatma sudurlabha. After many births, and doing lots of pious activities, not pious activities like charity. Pious activities here means pious activities related to devotional service, like some kind form of devotional service we did, that pious activity. It could be any form of devotional service. It could be even little service to Krishna, like visiting temple, looking at Krishna's, taking Krishna darshan, taking blessings from a sadhu or Vaishnava, eating prasad, mahaprasadam, going to the places of pilgrimage, hearing harinam, chanting harinam, hearing katha. These little activities, even if we've done unintentionally also in past life, then we get the sukriti. And then after many births, bahunam janmanamante jnanavam prapadyate vasudevam sarvamiti sa mahatma sudurlabha, then after many births, Krishna gives us this intelligence and this knowledge, and opens our jnana chakshu, and opens our wisdom eye, and enables us to understand who is the Supreme Personality of Godhead, who is the enjoyer, what is consciousness, what is nature. Then Krishna gives us this knowledge after many lifetimes, and we should consider ourselves very fortunate and not miss this opportunity, that now I know Who is Krishna? Who is the Supreme Personality of God? Who is the enjoyer? I'm not the enjoyer. Everything belongs to him. That is real knowledge. And that happens after many births. So we all, whoever is present in this call, we all are very, very blessed that we have realized to some extent. Realized means there is a long journey, but we have actually come to the first level of bhakti. There are 9 stages. At least we've come to the stage of faith. We all have faith in God. We all have faith. That's why we've gathered together and we're hearing this katha, which is very, very important. Faith should not dwindle. Faith should become strong day by day. And that is why we're reading Bhagavad Gita every day, so that our faith can become strong. Because it's very easy, Prabhupada is saying, it's very easy for the Maya to attack us and for us to become easily swayed away by problems, work life, and all so many things are going on, personal life. We can easily get entangled and we can easily become distracted by these challenges in our life. But if the center is Krishna, if we are doing really daily hearing and chanting, then it can actually save us. So very important, have strong faith and build up your faith by having daily regular association of Srimad Bhagavatam, Bhagavad Gita, and hearing and chanting and discussing about Krishna. Actually, hearing and talking about Krishna is also chanting. So right now, you are talking, I am talking, so that is also considered as chanting. Krishna, Prabhupada says that is chanting only. So you're chanting only. This is also counted. And obviously, hearing will make our ears, consciousness, mind very pure and absorbed in Krishna. So this is real knowledge. Not doesn't matter how much degrees we've got, how much we've studied, and all that about material nature. Prabhupada only said in in the purport of these verses. Prabhupada only said that Prabhupada is saying that until you come to the level of understanding God, you have no knowledge. So real knowledge is something else. It's not the knowledge that we think we have. And what he says, there was something in the purport, I forgot. But anyways, coming to this to Bhagavatam now, chapter 27, understanding material nature, which is more detailed now. 16, 17, 18, 19 were the verses that we have to study, but it's good to go through everything. That's what I always do, like all the text we can quickly go through. The personality of Godhead Kapila continued, when the living entity is thus unaffected by the modes of material nature, because he is unchanging and doesn't claim proprietorship, he remains apart from the reactions of mode, although abiding in a material body, just as sun remains aloof from the reflection on water. Such a great example, Prabhupada, has been given by Kapil Dev. He's saying just like a sun, when we see sun's reflection on water, no matter what happens, the reflection of the water doesn't get affected. Just as sun remains aloof from its reflection on water. Yeah. So in the same way, the modes of material nature, we are always under the modes of material nature. We are always under the direction of passion, ignorance, or goodness. Right now, we're all in goodness because we are hearing Krishna Katha. Our mind will be and consciousness will be elevated. But another moment, someone will shout at us, will make us angry, will go into lower modes of ignorance or mode of passion. We may answer back, or we may get angry, or something will happen. It will change quickly. So that changes because this is the nature of material. This is the nature of material world. But Prabhupada says in the purport, and Kapil Dev also says, but one who surrenders to the Lord, who does devotional service, actually they are not affected by these modes of material nature. Then Krishna takes charge of their life. Krishna becomes the proprietor. Krishna becomes because there is we no longer take responsibility for what's happening to us. Very nicely explained by Prabhupada in the purport of this chapter. One of the verses, he says that usually people say that I'm doing charity, I'm building hospitals. I've built 10 hospitals. I've built such a big hospital. Look, so many people are coming. I'm doing welfare for society. I'm doing welfare for my country. I'm doing welfare for my school. I'm a principal of the school. I'm doing so and so activities, which is all good, which is also in mode of goodness. But because it is still under the modes of material nature, it is still under the 3 modes of material nature, there is still attachment to what we are doing, and the false ego builds up in a very subtle way. It will tell you, your ego will tell you, the Maya will tell you, look, You're doing so much welfare to the world. You're doing so much for everyone. You should get praise. You should, we become attached to the praise that comes from people for doing so and so work. And then we will be invited to the TV shows. We'll be invited in special ceremonies. We'll be praised. So and so will happen, and that will inflate our false ego. And actually, that will make us fall down, because then there'll be no recognition of the supreme proprietor, the personality of Godhead. The credit will start taking credit to ourselves, not knowing that everything is coming and are being arranged by the Lord only. There are people who are on the streets. There are people who are homeless in the streets of London also. Don't they get food? They still get food. Somehow or the other, Lord arranges something for them. Lord arranges a bed for them, even if it's on the street. Lord arranges them to people to come around and give them something to eat. Like that, Lord, even though someone is very sinful, Lord has always made some arrangements for everyone. So that is up to God. Even if we donate 10 pounds, 20 pounds to someone on the street now, are we going to do that for the rest of our lives? Can we feed them for the rest of their lives? We cannot. But Prabhupada says, if you give them, if you really want to help someone, if you really want to do some social work or help the societies, help people around the world, make them Krishna conscious, because then you're not taking care of the temporary material body. We're talking about material nature, which is so temporary. Then you're not just taking care of this body, which is just temporary, which is going to be, get old and going to get all sorts of diseases. There'll be injections injected here. There'll be swellings in the body. There'll be blood so many things will happen to this body, because this is the nature of the body. It will go back to from where it came, right? Not permanent. That is the nature. But if we help someone's soul to get connected to Krishna, to chant once to them Hare Krishna Maha Mantra, share it with them, or share about Krishna, share about God with them, share about their real identity, then actually we are doing social work. We are actually helping that soul. And that is what Kapil Dev is doing in this he has come to do. He's helping everyone to know about the real identity, and realizing them, and giving this knowledge to Devahuti. And through Devahuti, he's actually setting a platform for all of us to hear about this knowledge. So it's important to actually realize what our real position. And Prabhupada also goes on to say, he said something in the, forgot which verse was that, something about temporary, but I forgot what I was going to say. Yeah, false ego, identifying his body as self, he becomes absorbed in material activities, and by influence of false ego, he thinks that he's the proprietor of everything. Yes, liberation. Now I remember. So Prabhupada says that what is liberation? So liberation is not just getting out of this body. Liberation is not just getting out of these clutches of Maya. That is that is also part, but that is not true liberation. So the liberation, as per Prabhupada's purport, what he says about liberation is the restatement of our real position. Right now we think me, my body, my house, my this, my that, and everything related to this body, we get attached to it. And although we know that we are not these bodies, we still are attached to it, unless something happens and the last moment comes, and then everything is, our eyes are opened that, oh my God, I wasted my life. I don't have anything now. So Prabhupada is saying reinstatement of this real position of of the soul is liberation. So right now, or we can say liberation from birth, old age, death, and disease. That is also not liberation. Why? Because birth, death, old age, and disease, even if you get liberated of that, people then want to merge into the void, merge into the impersonal aspect of Lord, which is also still not liberation, because you still haven't understood who God is. You still haven't accepted that there's someone superior whom I have to serve, or who is the proprietor of everything, because you still want your own separate you're still not accepting to surrender to the Supreme Personality of God. You want to become one with Him. So that is what Prabhupada is saying, that real liberation is to reestablish that we are part and parcels of the Lord, but at the same time, we are the servants of the Lord also. and there is someone who is the leader, who is the controller of everything. We have nothing to control. Prabhupada also very nicely explains in the purport that proprietorship, false proprietorship. We all have considered ourselves as proprietors of whatever we do, and where we try to control material situations. We try to control our situations, that this situation, I think by doing so and so, we make plans, I can change my situation, I will do everything possible, and because we are doing it for ourselves, for our senses, for our sense gratification, we do those things. Even the charity that we do, even the world welfare we do for our senses only, because then I'll get praise, everyone will know me, look how big charitable person he is, and then we think about the results that we're going to get out of that charity. But although those results will also be temporary, because we may get elevated to heaven, which is like 10,000 years heavenly years, but that is also not permanent, that is temporary. We still have to come back, we still have to do all those things, go through birth, old age, death and disease, because even heaven is also not devoid. There is all these four things are happening there also. So we have to realize that we are not the proprietor, and everything belongs to the Lord. When we surrender unto the Lord completely, Kapil Dev is saying surrender to the Lord completely, like in Bhagavad Gita verse 7.14, here in the verse that we read today, 16, 17, 18. Which one was that? I think 17, 19 maybe. Yeah, Bhagavad Gita 7.14. So what it says, the knowledge of the absolute. Daivi hiya esha gunamai mama maya duratyaya mam eva ye prapadyante mayam etam tarantite. Which means this divine energy of mind, consisting of the three modes of material nature, is difficult to overcome. But those who have surrendered unto me can easily cross beyond it. There is only one way to cross. And Devahuti here is asking, the first question that she asked from Kapil Muni was this only, that how to separate material energy from soul. The soul and material energy are coming from the same source. How to separate them, and what she meant is that how to be detached from this material world. It's so difficult, because we get entangled in this material world. It's not inseparable. If we are reborn here, then we are bound to get attached to material nature. How to get out of this material nature then? If it's so strong, if the modes are always controlling us, then how to get out of it? And the simple answer that we've been reading, we all know about it also, but we have to remind ourselves that the simple answer to this was in Bhagavad Gita 7.14. Only one who has surrendered himself unto the lotus feet of Supreme Lord Krishna, Mam eva ye prapadyante, can be freed from the clutches of Maya. Which means just surrender unto the Lord. And Lord is reminding Arjuna of the same thing, that why are you so confused? You are thinking that you are killing your family, you are doing so and so, but as per dharma, I am asking you, who's made this material world, I am asking you, the writer of Vedanta, verse Bhagavad Gita 15.15 says, Sarvasya chaham hridi sanivishtu mata smartir jnanam apohanamta vedasya sarve raham eva vedyo vedanta krit eva vedveda chaham. I am the one who has I'm the one who has written Vedanta Sutra. Let's go to chapter 15, 12, 13, 14, 15. The Yoga of the Supreme Person, 15.15. So see, I'm seated in everyone's heart, and from me comes remembrance, knowledge, and forgetfulness. By all Vedas, I am to be known. Indeed, I am the compiler of Vedanta. I am the knower of the Vedas. Krishna is saying, I am doing everything. Why are you worrying? I am asking you to surrender unto me. And just don't think that you are responsible for the killing of your the Kauravas or your family members. I just surrender unto me. Forget about everything. Don't think you are the proprietor or you are controlling the situation. Don't think yourself as the controller. I am the controller. He reminds Arjuna again, because we are in the same situation most of the times. We start thinking, we forget about God completely, and we start relying on our minds. Oh my God, how the money will go? Oh my God, I'm stuck in so and so situation. Oh my God, so much is happening in my life. What to do? Who to ask help for? Forgetting that if you're really a devotee, if you're really taking Krishna's name every day, what are you worrying about? Take it as Krishna's plan. Take it as Krishna's sanction, and just continue your bhakti. He will arrange everything if you're really surrendered to Krishna. If we are not surrendered to Krishna and we're thinking about our own minds, then we will get entangled, because then the full surrender is not there. Then how will Lord work? If you're not fully surrendered to the Lord, then you will also get the mercy equivalent to your surrender. If you're only surrendering 50%, you'll only get 50% reciprocation. But if you're 100% surrendered to the Lord and His plan and following everything, rules and regulation nicely, chanting and hearing is going on properly, then Krishna knows that he's completely surrendered to me, and then accept whatever he gives. That is how a devotee should be like. And then Prabhupada says, then you are not responsible for the results then, because now the results are in hand of Krishna. कर्मण्यवाधिकारस्ते मा फलेषु कदाचन मा कर्म फल हेतुर्भुर माते संगोस्तु कर्मणि. You are not entitled to get the fruits of your activities. You're only entitled to do your work, do your duty. And work doesn't mean whimsical work, anything that your mind asks you to do. No. What Krishna asks you to do in Bhagavad Gita, or what Dharma asks us to do, we should do that. That is aligned with Dharma, and that is our duty. People say, that karma hi puja hai, that work is worship. Work is worship, but what work? Are you aligned with Bhagavad Gita? Are you aligned with Krishna? Are you doing a dharmic work or not? Or is it just for your sense gratification? Then we will get frustrated. But if it is dovetailed towards Krishna, keeping Krishna in the center, thinking about how I can relate it to Krishna, how I can please Krishna through this service, through this work, then you're not entangled in these three modes of material nature, and you go beyond that, and Krishna becomes in charge, and Krishna is responsible for everything that's happening in your life. That is, and we accept whatever he gives us, because Krishna only gives us a little bit of what we actually deserve, of the mountain of karma that we have accumulated, sanchit karma from our past lives. Krishna takes charge of that, and then he decides what to give, what is good for our consciousness, what is good for our life. He gives us that. He shoots the arrows of that. 2 point Bhagavad Gita chapter 2, contents of Gita summarized, 2.47. This is the verse that I wanted to read. Yes. Karmanyavadhikaraste ma phaleshu kadachana ma karma phal hetur mate sangostva karmani. You have the right to perform your prescribed duties. Prescribed duties, not anything. What we will say, prescribed duties means what? Whatever your a Brahmana, Kshatriya, Vaishya, Shudra, whatever your prescribed duty is, perform that nicely. Or prescribed duty can also be you're a husband, you're a wife, you're a daughter, you're a son, you're a grandmother, your whatever relation you have, that can be also prescribed duty, because that is aligned with what Krishna has created. You have the right to perform your prescribed duty, but you are not entitled to the fruits of action. Never consider yourself the cause of results of your activities, and never be attached to not doing your duty. So this is how Krishna is then reminding Arjuna, you are not entitled to consider yourself as the cause of death of your the people in front of you. No, I'm asking you to do your prescribed duty, which is to fight right now, and this is dharmically aligned. You do this, you do what Dharma asks you to do. Don't worry about the results. So this is what we also have to think, and Prabhupada has mentioned many times in this verse also. He's saying, Prakriti kriyamanani guneh, the living entity acts according to the qualities of modes of material nature. He falsely thinks that he is acting, but unfortunately he is passive. In other words, he has no opportunity to get out of the control of material nature, because it has already conditioned him. But there is one way to get out of it, and that is surrendering unto the Supreme Personality of Godhead. So Devahuti poses the question that although one may speculate in many ways, where is liberation as long as one is under the spell of material nature? But there is liberation if you are surrendered to the Lord. Since Devahuti is gradually coming to the point of surrender, her question is very intelligent. It's a very intelligent question, because now she's going towards the right question, which is going to benefit all of us. And then here devotional service comes. But how to start this devotional service? The start of this devotional service is through Shravanam Kirtanam, hearing and chanting. Hearing and chanting is very important. And like I said, reading Bhagavatam and Bhagavad Gita is also Shravanam Kirtanam. Speaking and reading Bhagavatam is also Shravanam Kirtanam. It's also Kirtanam. So this is the only way to surrender to the Lord, not thinking ourselves as the proprietor and controller. I have one example to share. from my own life also, and then we will take question answers if you want to share something. So yeah, a few years back, I remember that when I was moving houses, and because obviously I've been here in this country for around 6 years now. Around 6 years, yes. I remember there was a place where I lived for like 2 years or so, maybe 3 years, and then it didn't. I mean, I had to move out of that place because then I was sharing that house with my mother, my brother. They moved out, so I had to move to a smaller place now. So I wanted to tell my landlord that I want to move out now, and obviously gave him notice, 2 months and all. But what he agreed is it's okay, and I helped him to find new tenants also. Usually you don't do that. Usually they'll have to do it on their own because it costs money. But I out of you can say general, I just did it to help him, because I know how much stressful it is when someone leaves. You're a landlord and someone is leaving, you have to find people and all that. So I thought it's okay, I can just, I like doing helping, and I'll just put it on market and do viewings and etc. I helped him out. I did everything from without expecting anything in return. But then when I just moved out, he started he completely changed, and he said that I'm sorry, I'm not going to give your deposit back. I can't give you the deposit back because of so and so. Very, very lame reasons that he gave me. And that was a lot of money that he was holding. And for that moment, now the thing comes that you're not the proprietor. You do your activity without expecting anything in return. I didn't do things for him because I was expecting he can do something for me. But then there was a challenge or test for me that now he is expecting me to give him my deposit that I had paid in the beginning. So then I had to align. Now this is a situation, and I know that I'm following Krishna consciousness. I have to be careful also with my words, with my anger, and with frustration. This is a challenging situation. Now how can I relate it with Bhagavad Gita and Bhagavatam? What does Dharma tell me to do? And that's how we get answer in such situations in our lives. So obviously the first thing is that we have to fight. We have to ask that what happened? What did I do wrong? Is there anything? So I did that also, and I didn't get a proper reply. And then I started thinking back, because we are spiritual, we know what karma. It could be something that I have taken from this person in my past life, and he's come in this way, and he's asking back now. Because it didn't make me any sense why someone would keep my money without giving me any reason. So obviously I insisted him, let's do a deal, like just give me half the amount, so that I can pay my rent and all that. That also he said, no, I can only spare this much, I can only give you this much. That also I'm just doing a favor, like that. And then I was like, okay, I've tried my best, I've tried everything. Now I'm surrendering it to Krishna, I'm taking his name, I've tried my best. But if it goes beyond it, we have to go to court, and things will even become more messy. Maybe I'll get more karma and all that. So that was the time when I actually surrendered to Krishna. And I said, okay, it might be my karma, because Krishna says, Prabhupada says that you must have done a lot of bad karma altogether. And then you, Krishna, because you're in bhakti also, you're taking his name every day. He always tries souls to suffer a little bit. Not, we have to suffer because we've also done something wrong to someone, but he just reduces the suffering. So it becomes very small. So maybe I was going to lose a lot of money, but somehow he agreed to pay me back something. And I stopped it there only. I just forgot about it, that I'm not going to take a revenge or, curse him or do something that he kept my money, because it's not my money. The detachment comes when you read scriptures. You get that realization that it's not your money. Everything is, Prabhupada is saying in the purport, that don't think the money, a rich person thinks that this is my money, he becomes proud, he becomes attached to it, but actually nothing is ours. Everything is Krishna's, and he knows how to balance it, where it should go, where it shouldn't go. So why should we think so much? Why don't we do our duty, we did our best, and then if things are not in our hands, it means we should surrender unto the Lord and let him decide how things are going to and not getting attached to what is happening to us, or taking revenge, or grudges, keeping grudges for others. Just accept that it's not my money, it's someone else's. It just went where it came, it should have been. So I'm not saying that everyone should do that, but just giving an example that I got my own realization that I shouldn't be attached to and going back and forth that return my money and all that, because we all are conditioned. There are mistakes that we might have done, and we try our best and then leave it to Krishna, and we don't get attached to the results, and don't use, maybe just serve Krishna somehow. I use that house also in service somehow, so whoever comes there, I hope that they also get some chance to do service. So that was just a little bit, and hope I haven't kept you very long. If there's anything you want to share, or if there's some reflections, realizations, then please, you can unmute yourself, and please forgive me for any offenses. Thank you.
Hare Krishna, Mataji.
Hare Krishna.
Yeah, Hare Krishna. Thing is, something I've been worried about something which is going to happen at the end of the month. I've got an appointment, and
Yes.
I worry about it, what is going to happen. But at the same time, my thoughts go back to Krishna consciousness, that whatever is the plan of Krishna, I have to fit into it. So that makes me come back to by sort of spirituality. It's going to happen, it's going to happen. So it's a very strong thought, but sometimes you just linger on and say, oh, I don't know what's going to happen. I don't know what's going to happen. But as you say, I try to pull myself out of it, thinking about it is Krishna's plan and I have to abide by it. It's a very important point that you have discussed today. And I think it has sort of strengthened my faith in Krishna and my devotional service, Mataji.
Yes, Mataji, you're very right. Like I said, obviously we are scared, but then what are we scared of? Whatever has to happen. We just have to be prepared. And surrendering, another thing is, it teaches us surrender. How much we surrendered, our faith is tested in these times. How much I'm relying on my own efforts, and how much I'm relying on Krishna. Sometimes if we rely so much, we're so attached that no, I'm gonna get it back, this is mine. But then we're forgetting it's not ours, it's Krishna's, and everyone is his child, and he knows how to distribute, and he knows where things should be gone. So like you said also, Pratibha Mata, is it Pratibha?
Yes,
Pratibha Mataji. Yes, thank you for sharing that. I think do your duty like Arjuna did. Be faithful devotee of Lord, and whatever comes, accept it as reaction for our own activities, but given in a very small, just he's reduced our punishment, we can say. Or sometimes Krishna puts everything together so that it quickly clears out.
Yeah.
Krishna doesn't want us to enter Goloka Dham and then ask Krishna, Krishna, how many years I'm here, when I'm going back to the material world. He doesn't want that kind of soul. He wants souls who are completely freed. They have no desire to go back, and they're happily accepting that condition. They're happily situated in the Dham. So we have to become eligible for that. So all the anarthas, all the fears, all the hankerings have to actually purified. We have to get purified, and these challenges actually make us realize what our real position is, how much tolerant we are, how much patience we have, how much we've advanced in spirituality. So it opens our eyes to the reality.
Thank you.
Hare Krishna. Any other thoughts, realizations, questions? Narsima Chaturdashi is also coming. When is it? Soon. So we can pray. That's a very nice opportunity for us to remember the Lord, this form of Lord Narsimha Dev, who can actually help us remove these fears from our heart. These fears and all the obstacles coming on our way in bhakti. It could be in the form of a person, it could be in the form of fears, it could be in the form of anything situated in our heart. Let's pray to Lord Narsimha Dev to to be with us. And he's very powerful. His prayers, I've seen miracles happening. Hearing about his pastimes from Bhagavatam, Prahlad Maharaj and Narasimhadev, that can really make our faith even more stronger. Lord can appear in any form for his devotees. So let's meditate on that and wait for this nice appearance day of Narasimhadev. Hare Krishna. If there is no other questions, then we can end the session now. If everyone's happy.
Hare Krishna Mataji.
Hare Krishna Mataji.
Sorry, just a realization I wanted to share,
Yes,
if it's okay. So recently, when we were on holiday in Spain, there used to be a beggar. There was a supermarket near our apartment, and he used to be sat outside every day, had minimal clothing on him, just a t-shirt and shorts. The hair was all very, unwashed, etc., unkept. And after a few days, he would just be sitting there, not ask of money from anybody, or if anybody offered him food, he would just do a hand gesture to say, no, it's fine. And so I used to say to my husband, he seems quite content, but someday he would take something from people, a sandwich or a drink. But if he had a sandwich with him, he wouldn't accept another sandwich. And so I don't know what I think. What I'm trying to say is that he only lived for a day at a time. If he didn't have any food and he was hungry, he would accept a sandwich. Otherwise, if somebody offered him, then he said no. So I think what made me think of this is when you said that whether a beggar on the street, Krishna knows who needs what, and he provides them for the shelter on the night, albeit if it's outside.
Yeah.
But he still has that comfort. I don't know if that makes sense.
Yes.
But yeah, so that was surreal for me. Every day I would look at him and think, he seems so content and satisfied with whatever he's given, and only take what is needed.
Wow, that's such a thank you for sharing that, Mataji. That is what Prabhupada also says. And that is where Shri Ishopanishad has a verse which says that we should only accept what is meant for our which is set aside for our quota, because rest everything belongs to the Lord.
Yes.
We just set aside for us. So because everything belongs to Lord, we have just taken little, we're just using his property.
Yes.
We shouldn't think that this belongs to us. So that is very nice thing, that we should not keep on thinking of expanding more and more and more. For who we are expanding? It's temporary.
Yes.
Rather than expanding it, why not just keep as much as you need, like just for your necessity, just for keeping body and soul together, and just the basic thing. Why are we thinking about expanding it when it's not gonna help us come out of the cycle of birth and death, or it's not gonna solve the problem of our rebirth. It's not gonna help anyway. It stays here, everything.
Or
So
any
why
of
are
it
we
coming with us at all? Yes.
Exactly.
Yes.
So that is a great realization. If someone can realize that, be satisfied with what they have, that's such a great quality, to be satisfied.
It really made me think as well. I used to say to my husband, we have sometimes you have a 2-bedroom house, you want a 4-bedroom house.
Yeah.
You have one car, you want to upgrade your car. And for what? Any car gets you from A to B. It doesn't matter. But we still always seeking for more and more.
Exactly. That is hankering, getting more and more, and then not getting satisfied. Even then we're getting everything. It's not going to solve the problem. So what is the point? And then at some point also it starts feeling like a burden. You ask people who've got lot. At some point they feel void. There's no one in the house. There's no one to talk to. They're ending up in a care home. There's so many things that happen. Because it's not going to solve emptiness. It's not going to solve the
bring
problem.
Happiness.
Yeah, exactly.
Yes.
So Krishna is warning us already in the scriptures. He's told us, but we don't want to listen. We want to experiment.
Yes. And then suffering comes with it.
Suffering comes. Exactly. Exactly.
Hare Krishna.
Thank you, Mataji. Thank you for sharing. Thank you. It's very nice to hear from everyone because, it's Bhagavatam we can relish when we discuss. And Prabhupada wanted not to just read, but he wanted reflections. He said that read and then share your reflections. What you realized from this, what are your experiences, and discuss about it. This is how we grow in devotion when we share. We read and then we share, we relate with our lives, and then we share with others to help others as well. So thank you so much for your engagement, and I wish you all the best, and hopefully I'll attend soon and get your association. Thank you so much. We'll end today's session now. Hare Krishna. वाञ्छकल्पतरुभ्यश्च कृपा सिन्धुभ्यश्च पतितानां पावनेभ्यो वैष्णवेभ्यो नमो नमः। श्रीमद्भागवतम की जय, प्रभुपाद की जय। हरि बोल।
Hari Bol. Thank you,
Hare
Mataji.
Bol.
Thank you,
Hare
Mataji.
Krishna,
Mataji.
Mataji.
Hare Krishna.
Hare Krishna. Thank you, Mataji. Hare Krishna.
Thank you, Mataji.
Hare Krishna.
Hare Krishna.